Today, I will be talking about maybe the most anticipated theme park of all time, Universal's Epic Universe. Epic Universe is the newest park in the ever-growing Universal catalog of parks, and it looks like it could be the single best theme park out of all of them. I go to Florida very often and have a good chance of going to Epic Universe next year, and I will be talking about what exactly makes this park so hyped up. To start, I want to talk about the park's location and size. Epic Universe will be a couple miles down the road, meaning that it is a separate part of Orlando, meaning that it probably won't have any park hoppers since it is so far away and not actually connected to the Universal Resort. But the reason why it's not connected to the Universal Resort is because it's massive. The size of Epic Universe and the surrounding area is the size of the entirety of the Universal Resort and the 3 whole parks combined. And because it's so big, Universal is prepared by building 3 whole new hotels right next to the park, one being so close that it's a short walk to the park and has its own entrance. But back to the main entrance, it's very similar to the Universal Studios one, having an overarching building that you walk under to get into the park. Also, it looks very similar to the entrances of the themed lands, which is an illusion that you're going through a portal to enter that part of the park and that world. But before we talk about the actual park, let's talk about pricing. This park, if I had to assume, upon opening, will probably be a little bit more expensive than Hollywood Studios and Islands of Adventure because it's very new, probably being about $200 a ticket for its first year of opening. Also, if I had to assume, parking and prices inside the park, like food and lockers, would probably be similar pricing to the other 3 parks across the road. Alright, let's talk about Celestial Park, Epic Universe's main hub in the middle of the park. This area is nice, not having a huge theme, but it is themed to space and other stuff of that sort. I don't know if this area will be as themed to detail as much as the other 4 themed lands, but it should still be a pretty nice area to be in. Celestial Park does have some rides being Starfall Racers and Celestial Carousels. Celestial Carousel should be a solid kiddie ride, being that it's a carousel being right on the water of the lake that is in the middle of the land. But the main star of the land is Starfall Racers. Starfall Racers is a dueling Mach launch coaster that looks to be a top ride in the park and could be the best coaster in the park. It looks to have some good launches, airtime moments, and some cool inversions weaving in between the other car, which should be very cool and a very good star attraction for this themed area. The first themed land that we'll be talking about is Super Nintendo World. We have already seen the Super Nintendo World IP used, being that it's at Universal in California and Japan. But even though we've already seen this land before, and it's the only non-original themed land, it should still be an amazing themed area. I think all the entry portals are very cool ways to immerse you into the themed area, but because of the popularity of this park, I think that people trying to go in and out of each themed land could get very busy, and I'm worried about that. But other than that, I think these new entry portals are a very cool idea. You walk through and you're hit with the amazing and colorful Mario World. Everywhere you look, there are moving parts and pieces that make this themed land come alive. And with the interactive band, you will be even more immersed into this themed land, being able to interact with all different types of things in the Mario World. The rides here are Mario Kart, Bowser's Challenge, Minecart Madness, and Yoshi's Adventure. Mario Kart should be a very fun interactive family ride that has great props, and the use of VR should enhance it even more. Yoshi's Adventure is like the People Mover at Magic Kingdom, so it will slowly take you around the entirety of Super Mario World, which should be really cool even though it's not thrilling. And potentially the best ride in this section is Minecart Madness. This is a set point and in-house roller coaster, which should make it a very interesting experience. This coaster will be in the mini section of Donkey Kong Park, which should be a very cool mini section of the Mario World. The coaster simulates jumping off the track with its new innovative technology that has never been seen before. And obviously, it should be detailed very nicely, being heavily tied in with Donkey Kong. All the rides here should be a fan favorite, and the Mario World looks awesome. To the section of the park that I'm most looking forward to is Dark Universe. This is a very different type of themed land that we aren't very used to. Instead of a vibrant land, this is quite the opposite. It's themed after the 1920s Universal Monster series. So lots of Frankenstein, vampires, werewolves, and that type of stuff. So this is going to be a very gloomy land, but it should still be very highly detailed. And from what Universal has said, it still should be alright for families, but scary enough for people 13 years of older. The combination with this very interesting and unordinary theming makes me can't wait for this area. Also, the rides in Dark Universe look awesome and amazing. The roller coaster of the area is called Werewolf's Curse. It should be an intimate spinning coaster with a swing launch, which is very unique. It should be very similar to Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure in that it's a family coaster, but it still should be very fun and highly detailed. But the ride that I'm most excited for, maybe out of all rides out of the entire park, is Monsters Unchained. This ride uses the same arm system that Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey uses. And the claw mechanism is the best dark ride vehicle, and I don't really think it's close. It allows for insane detail and a ton of props while also throwing in screens to make a very good to almost perfect dark ride. The combination of great detailing in Frankenstein's manner and the interesting theme of the ride make me cannot wait for this ride. Also, the area has some very nicely themed areas to eat and sit down. Overall, this area could be a contender for not only the best themed area in the park, but the best themed area in the world. The fourth themed area in Epic Universe is Harry Potter: The Ministry of Magic. This is a combination of the Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts series taking place in France and Britain. And I know I just said that Dark Universe is a contender for the best themed land at Epic Universe, but I think Ministry of Magic puts that to bed because this land will probably be the best in the entire world. I still think that I'll like Dark Universe a little bit more because I think that the rides that come with the land are a little bit better, but it still should be awesome. This land will probably be the most detailed themed land that we have ever seen, and I don't know if it'll really be close. Imagine taking Hogsmeade, making it even more detailed, making the area 2 times bigger, and that's what the Ministry of Magic is. Universal even said that they are making it to scale of actual streets in France, which is going to be unreal. They also said that the shortest building in Ministry of Magic will be taller than the tallest building at Diagon Alley, which doesn't even sound real. Also, there will be a lot to look at here. There will be detailing from building to building, and it should be great, awesome, and I don't even know what else I could say about it. I can't tell you everything about the Ministry of Magic, but I can tell you there'll be a show called Le Circus Arcano, which should be the best show that Universal has ever put on. Even Universal has said that the mix of props and special effects should be like nothing else, and I think that could make it a contender for best theme park show ever. Also, there is only one ride in this area, but it's called the Battle of the Ministry of Magic. It uses the same vehicles as the Incredible Adventures of Spider-Man, which should be really cool. The theme is Dolores Umbridge is on trial for her crimes and escapes, and you have to retrieve her. Universal has even said that this is the most innovative and ambitious ride that they've ever tried to build. We don't know everything about this ride, but I can tell you that it will be a fantastic ride from start to finish. The last themed area is called How to Train Your Dragon Isle of Berk. Out of all the themed areas, this one does look the weakest, but it should still be very fun. This is the quote-unquote kids area of the park, but there are still some amazing and thrilling rides in this area. It is themed after the How to Train Your Dragon films, and as someone who loves those movies, I think that this will be a great area. This area will be vibrant with lots of colors and weird but cool looking buildings and objects, including the town hall, which is a massive building in the middle of the area. It's going to be a large dining hall with a ton of food selection to choose from. And close by, there will be a huge kids area, which is similar to the one at Islands of Adventure, which should be a big hit for kids. But obviously, instead of dinosaurs, There should be dragons, which should be very awesome for the little ones. There are a total of 3 rides in this area, which are called Dragon Racer Rally, Fire Drill, and Hiccup's Wing Gliders. First is Dragon Racer, which should be a Gerstlauer Sky ride with a mild and wild side. This should be a very solid flat ride that allows for your own control, and you can control how many times you flip during the ride. The lone water ride at the park is called Fire Drill, which should be super unique. It's a boat ride where on each side there are water guns, and with those water guns, you have to shoot at targets and at other boats and people. This ride should get you soaked, and the competition of shooting water guns at each other should be really fun. In the last ride, and probably the best ride of the area, Hiccup's Wing Glider. This is another intimate family coaster just like Werewolf's Curse, but no spinning trains. This is a themed family coaster, so it should be on the level of Hagrid's, which should be very good. Also, the ride goes around the entirety of the area, so it should be very cool seeing the ride fly by and going across the entirety of the area. Overall, a very solid area that I believe that I will very much enjoy. I think that this park is really good and could be even better than we think it is when it opens. Obviously, at this moment, we do not know every detail about every themed land or every ride, but obviously, we should get more details about the park as it finishes construction. But at the moment, that's everything we know about Epic Universe and my thoughts on each ride and themed land as it sets to open in 2025. Overall, this is easily the best theme park being built right now, and could be the best theme park in the world the moment that it opens to guests. And this park has so much more to build because there are already talks that there could be an expansion or maybe even another themed land built after a couple years after it's already opened. There is even more land next to Epic Universe that is currently not being built on but still owned by Universal that could be used for an expansion in the future. This park looks world class and can't wait to experience every ride and themed land when it opens in the upcoming year. Thanks for watching, subscribe, vote on my community tab since I like making videos that you guys want to watch and I get a lot of my good ideas from you guys. But other than that, have a good day.